Hey there. This is going to be a walk around video explaining the details of the 1971 Honda SL125. I bought this bike off a Bring a Trailer, so it's an alumni, in April of 2024. And I mean, again, when I just, it still is to me, it's just so beautiful. That paint is just amazing. You know, the previous owner did a great job on the auction. He put in lots and lots of receipts, and I mean, I just didn't think I could even build something like this, you know. And I've done, you know, multiple restorations of Hondas, and for the price, I thought, yeah, this thing was a great deal. So, you know, the previous owner, if you can go back to that auction and you can look at all the photos and all of his receipts. I will, of course, not include those in my auction, but you'll see how much he paid, you know, to chrome everything and paint everything and powder coat. And, you know, the receipts come to well over $5,000, and he claims that he had lost some. There was even more. And when I look at his parts lists and stuff, he bought them from really reputable places. You know, most of it new old stock Honda. I can believe it. Well, anyway, you know, I bought this, and when I started it up, something was wrong in the motor. Now, he admitted he's not a mechanic. He didn't go into the motor at all. And if I listen to the earlier videos that he posted, I can kind of hear something going on in there. Well, you know, it didn't worry me too much because these bikes or the engines are super simple. But it turned out to be just a cam chain tensioner. And there was actually a broken part in something that was installed a little bit backwards. But, you know, got new old stock Honda parts for that. And the thing now is quieted down and runs perfect. What else? So other than what's in the thing, I added, you know, there was no gasket up here in the points cover. And some of these screws were sort of, you know, hogged out. So for a bike of this perfection, you know, I said, hey, this thing needs to have, you know, the best of the best. This little rubber cap, that's a Honda part that covers the camshaft tensioner adjustment. So we got those and installed them. What else? Well, you know, when I first got it and I turned on the key, the lights wouldn't work. The headlight wouldn't work unless the engine was running. And it turns out to be just kind of you know, the electrical system was a little tired. So I replaced the battery. That was it was a lead acid battery, which these days is no bueno because, you know, it'll leak acid and mess up your beautiful you know, work. But I ended up with a Moto Bat, if you know those, the yellow batteries that are really nice. It's 6 volt, and now when you turn the key on, this thing, you know, the headlight glows strong. You can even see it over there on the thing. And again, when we go to the high beam, right, the high beam, the low beam. So it's really working nice. And in addition, let's go through the other. There's the horn, there's the neutral light. We saw the headlight working. There's the tail light. And when we put on the foot brake, right, we get our thing, and we put on the handbrake, so everything is working really nicely. And part of that, the reason for that is I decided, after looking at the wiring harness, it had been sort of refreshed, let's put it that way. I went ahead and bought a brand new wiring harness, and then rewired the bike, and it's perfect now. What else? Okay, you'll see, and I have photos of this in the all the receipts that I have for the parts that I have purchased. They are in the auction, and I mentioned this as an auction. You know, for those of you that are watching this on YouTube. You know, this video was meant to help sell the bike on Bring a Trailer. So if you're seeing this later, it might be confusing as to why I'm doing this. But anyway, so if you're at the Bring a Trailer auction and you're interested in the bike, then of course this makes a lot of sense. But the other thing where corners were cut before was the shocks, and the rear shocks were in sort of bad shape and pretty rusty, and you know, it's a weird thing that Honda did. There's a different size diameter of bolt here and here. Anyway, I found the really nice, you know, beautiful chrome replacements in Australia, and then ended up putting those on. So now the shocks are as good as all the rest of the bike, because again, of course, he chromed the rims and new spokes, and chromed the chain guide and the tail light, and you know, the handlebars. I mean, everything polished. You know, the polish bill was pretty extreme. And then all the nuts and bolts, I have not found anything that isn't, you know, new old stock Honda or original Honda that was replated. What else? So it runs really good now. The other thing that I did was, in the ad, you can go back to his ad and it will say it comes with a key and carburetor. Well, it wasn't a Keihin carburetor, it was a repop carburetor, and they're close, they look good, but do they work as good as an original Japanese Keihin carb? I don't know, this thing idled kind of high. Anyway, I bought this carb, I found a used one, of course, you know, they don't make new ones anymore, and it was in beautiful shape. And then I found a keister, if you know what those are, a keister rebuild kit, and those are a very, very high quality Japanese rebuild kit, and that came from Australia as well. So, you know, the carb got replaced with a, you know, not new, but a used Keihin carb, and of course, and I think that's about it. And then just made sure that everything was tuned and running, you know, as it should. So that's it. I mean, we've got a bike that the previous owner did a fabulous job of the cosmetics, and now, you know, it runs just as good as it looks, and it's got, you know, it fires up. Take a look at that cold start video. It fires up first kick every time, and then we'll take the thing on a little ride. But it runs great, shifts through all the gears, it's super smooth. You know, it's got a brand new Motobat battery. All the electrical connections are top quality and clean, so it's good for a long time. All right, that's it. Thanks.